He always thought he had more time. There was no rush. Life felt busy, but not urgent. Every important thing could wait. He often said, "I'll do it later," and later always sounded safe. When an idea came to his mind, he answered, "Not now." He believed there would be a better moment, a calmer day, a future where time was easier. So he continued with his routine: work, home, sleep. The days felt full, but also quiet. He was not unhappy. Nothing was wrong. That was the problem. There was no strong reason to stop and think. Life moved forward, one normal day after another. He told himself, "There's no rush." Sometimes a small thought appeared, a question without pressure. Is this really important? But he pushed it away. There was always tomorrow, always next week, always next year. Time did not feel fast. It felt endless. He believed it would wait. He believed he had more time. The years did not leave suddenly. They left quietly, one ordinary day at a time. Mornings looked the same. Evenings ended the same way. He woke up, got ready, went to work, came back home. Life felt busy but familiar. He often said, "Another busy day," and it was true. There was always something to do. Messages to answer, tasks to finish, small problems to solve. The days were full, but nothing stopped him long enough to think. Weeks passed, then months. He did not feel time moving. He felt tired, not old. He felt occupied, not lost. Sometimes he laughed and said, "Time flies," but he did not really mean it. Time still felt distant, like something that belonged to the future. Plans stayed plans, ideas stayed ideas. When something important crossed his mind, he told himself, "I'll get to it soon." Soon sounded reasonable. Soon sounded responsible. Soon did not sound like delay. Life did not warn him. There were no signs, no clear moments, just repetition. One year quietly replaced another. Birthdays came and went. Photos changed. Faces around him changed. But inside, everything felt the same. Sometimes, late in the evening, he noticed the calendar. The date felt strange. He thought, "Wasn't it just last year?" The thought stayed for a moment, then disappeared. There was always something else to focus on. He did not lose time because he was careless. He lost it because he was patient, too patient. He trusted that there would always be space later, that important things could wait. And so the years passed without noise, without drama, without a clear goodbye. He did not notice them leaving. He only noticed that they were gone. The realization did not come suddenly. There was no shock, no strong emotion. It arrived quietly, like a thought that refused to leave. One ordinary evening, he stopped for a moment. Nothing special happened. He was just tired and quiet. He looked around and felt something strange. Everything was familiar, but it felt different. He thought, "Something feels off." He could not explain it. There was no clear reason, just a small weight inside his chest. He began to think about the past, not deeply, just simple memories, old plans, old ideas, things he once wanted to do. He asked himself, "When did I stop?" But there was no clear answer. It did not happen on one day. It happened slowly. For the first time, he noticed how much time had passed. The years no longer felt far away. They felt close. He whispered, I didn't notice it happening, and that sentence stayed with him. He did not feel panic. He did not feel regret yet. He felt awareness, a calm but heavy understanding. He saw that he had been waiting for the right moment for a very long time, waiting without realizing it. He sat quietly and thought, I thought I had more time. Not with anger, not with fear, just with honesty. This thought did not accuse him. It simply told the truth. That evening did not change his life. He did not make big decisions, but something shifted. A small door opened inside him, and once it opened, it could not be closed again. He finally saw time not as something endless, but as something real, something moving, something that does not stop. After that evening, the conversation inside his head became louder, not aggressive, just present. It followed him during the day and returned at night. He noticed it while walking, while working, while sitting alone. The same thoughts came back again and again. One voice said, "You waited too long." It sounded calm, almost factual. Another voice answered, "I did what I could." These sentences did not fight. They simply existed together. Sometimes he thought, why didn't I start earlier? The question felt heavy. It carried many years inside it. But right after, another thought appeared. I didn't know then what I know now. That sentence softened the weight. He realized how often he had spoken to himself without kindness, how easily he accepted delay as a habit. He remembered how often he said, "Not today," and how natural that sentence felt at the time. Now the words sounded different. Later no longer felt safe. It felt uncertain. He asked himself, if not now, when? The question did not demand an answer. It only asked for attention. At night, in silence, he noticed another sentence growing stronger. Not loud, not confident, just steady. I don't want to keep waiting. It did not promise success. It did not promise change. It only promised honesty. This inner conversation was not about blame. It was about clarity. He understood that time did not disappear because of bad choices. It disappeared because of unnoticed ones. He learned something important about himself. Change does not begin with action. It begins with words, with the sentences we repeat when nobody is listening. And once those sentences change, direction slowly follows. The change did not come as a big decision. He did not wake up one morning and say that everything would be different. Life continued as usual. The same streets, the same work, the same people. But inside, something moved slightly. He started to notice moments he had ignored before. Small moments, quiet moments. He noticed how often he checked the time, how often he said, "I'm busy," how often he felt tired without knowing why. One day, he stopped himself before saying later. The word was already there, ready to leave his mouth, but he paused, just for a second, and instead he thought, maybe now is better. It was not a brave moment. It was not emotional. It was practical. He did not change his whole life. He changed one small action. He made one call. He opened one document. He returned to one idea he had left behind. The action was small, but it felt different. It felt honest. There was no pressure, no promise of success, just the feeling that he was no longer ignoring himself. He realized something important. Time does not return, but attention can. When he paid attention, moments felt fuller, slower, more real. The day did not become longer, but it became clearer. This small shift did not solve everything, but it changed how he moved through his days. He was no longer waiting for a perfect moment. He was simply present in the one he had. He understood that time was not the enemy. It was not something to fight or control. Time was simply moving, always. The real question was not how much time he had left, but how he chose to live inside it. He stopped thinking in big plans. Big plans felt heavy. They demanded energy he did not always have. Instead, he focused on today, on what could be done now, not to fix his life, just to respect it. Sometimes he still felt doubt. Sometimes he still wanted to delay. Those habits did not disappear overnight, but now he noticed them, and noticing was already a change. He told himself simple things. This matters to me. I don't need to hurry. I don't want to miss this. These sentences were not motivation, they were reminders. He learned that living with time means accepting limits, accepting that not everything will happen, that some doors will stay closed, but also understanding that some moments are still open, right now. He did not become younger, he did not become fearless, but he became more awake. He no longer thought he had endless time, and strangely, that made life feel richer, not smaller. Time continued to move forward, but now he moved with it, not running, not waiting, just paying attention. And that was enough.
Thanks! Please subscribe and like. Spin a new yarn with us every week. See you there!